Chester. I am here to give you kind of like an outlook on what I went through and my experience being abroad. When I went abroad, when I first thought about it, I was pretty much in y'all chairs, like not knowing anything about it. The only reason I wanted to go was to not take Spanish, and that is the honest to God truth. It worked for the most part. It was all an experience, from getting my passport, because I didn't know how to get it, how to go about it. I never thought about getting a passport a day in my life. Got one. I went from getting the passport to finding out where I wanted to go. I chose to go to Europe. Had to pick a specific place in Europe, so I picked Spain, just because I have Spanish people in my family, and I have people. I'm mostly surrounded by a lot of Spanish people, and it was just something that I've always done since I was little, so I wanted to become intermediate. My first plane ride ever, it was horrible. I went to doctors, asked them to give me a whole bunch of Xanax. Took some Xanax, fell asleep on plane. I was good. The ride over there was 6.5, 7 hours. Once I got there, I stayed with a family. We started off in Madrid. We took a bus from Madrid to Seville. We stayed in Seville for about 2 weeks. We stayed with a family, which is the host family. They did everything for us. They washed our clothes. They made ideas for us. We had like little family time with them. Ate dinner with them, breakfast with them. The food is different. They don't believe in cold water. They believe in putting water inside of a pitcher and sticking it on a desk like this with cereal that has no flavor and like skim milk, and that's it. That's their breakfast, and they'll give you like a piece of toast, no butter, no jelly, no nothing. What else happened? Oh, while I was over there, we took classes. The classes was from 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. It was only 2 weeks worth of classes. I just went to get, like I said, to get done Spanish, but come to find out, I also got hours towards my ESL course, which is now 20 hours taken off, so I can get my certificate to go abroad again and teach and make money after I complete my 80 hours. That is a requirement, which I didn't know. School was fun. While we were there, they had like a whole bunch of different things set up for us. So we not only went to Madrid and Seville, but we went to Cordoba, we went to Cadiz. We spent time on there. It's like a huge beach. Or in Cordoba, we visited the mosque. That was a good experience, because I never thought that I would visit the mosque. Always seen it in like little history books and stuff like that, but when you see it in person, it's like way bigger, way more than what you had think that it was. Yeah, and then they gave us a farewell dinner. The night before we left, it was the coordinator, the person that went with us. She was awesome. Like, she gave us nighttime. It was like, daytime you guys can go do what you want to. Nighttime, daytime you do what you're supposed to do. Nighttime, you guys are on your own. Here's a map, you can go do what you want to do. So, we went out, we took flamenco dancing lessons. Everything was paid for. Flamenco dancing lessons. We went to like this bar that had a famous flamenco dancer from over there, and then it was just a lot of good stuff. There was nothing bad about the trip, with the exception of there were bugs there, and they were like this big. Wow. And they would crawl around on the floor, and when we first got there, we didn't see anything, but like after our third day of coming back to that house, they were crawling all over. Yeah. So we would take our stuff, throw it in the closet, shut the doors and everything, but they was used to it. So to them it was normal. Came back, we went to Madrid, we went to go see a bullfight, we visited a bull ring, we seen like how they put the darts or whatever they call them inside the bull, and the bulls die, and it was all a really good experience. After that, the ride back was 9.5 to 10 hours, because we were going against the wind. We landed in Philadelphia Airport. It's things that I missed out on. The trip was for close to a month. It cost me, the trip was $3,300. But I received 2 scholarships. Someone gave me $500, so I really had to come out of pocket the $200 deposit and spend the money, and everything else was paid for. And now, like, you know, it helped me because not only did I get exempted from 1 Spanish class, I got exempted from 2. Not only did I, you know, not get a scholarship, but I got 2 of them. I not only met people from there, but I met people from Portugal, because the host family was also hosting another family from Portugal. And it's not like those are friends that we have here that we see on a daily basis, but I still talk to these people as of right now. As in, we get on Skype and Google, and, you know, we cheat and use our translator and, you know, say what we gotta say over, but we still talk. We still have a relationship. The family was awesome. It consisted of a wife, a husband. She had 2 sons and a daughter, and they're really strict on their learning. Like, they want peace and quiet. In the daytime, after 2 o'clock, they have like a fiesta time from 2 to 4 o'clock, where it's just they sit there and go out and drink, and everything shuts down. And then 4 o'clock is when it picks back up, and everybody goes about doing what they were doing. So, any questions? Yes.
I really like traveling and going abroad, but I'm kind of iffy on the whole host family thing. So can you give me some details on, I guess you had the coordinator with you, and like what other people were with you, or if it was you and one other person or a group that was staying with the host family?
The way that it was set up was, when you fill out your paper, you fill out if you want the family that you were going to stay with to have children, like your likes and your dislikes. And then they try to match you up as much as possible. I didn't go with this school, but I went and it transferred over to this school. So it's kind of similar. You go with the people that also wanted to go and have the same similar likes as you. The host family, they will ask you questions and stuff. Remind you, they speak the language that is over there. We cheated a lot of times, you know. We wrote it in our phones and everything.
She cheated.
I mean, I admit it. It's like, once you do that, they'll get a better understanding on what it is that you want from them as a host family. After that, it's like, if you like it, you can stay with them. If not, then your coordinator, you can talk to your coordinator. We all were split up. It was 6 of us that went. 2 of us stayed, and 1 stayed because we wanted somebody that had kids that knew where they were going and could show us around. Yeah, but like, your coordinator stays in a whole different area than you. Like, we were all split up. 1 person was on one side of town, 1 person was like at the end of Seville going into the next town, but they always make sure that you have their house number and the cell phone number and the address of your coordinator and your host family and everything, in case anything happens and you really don't want to stay there. So, did that answer it? Okay.
What do they usually do about bugs that crawl around their house? Do they just let it sit there, or they use a broom?
I don't know if they all do the same thing, but my host family was like, oh, it's okay. And she told us to pick our bags up, and she just stepped on it and picked it up and threw it in the trash.
He's like, it's not that serious.
But it's only because I'm not a bug person, but I can deal with little bugs. But when they're that big, I'm scared of them. And to them, it was like, because they lived there, it was normal to them. It was really normal to them. But they were like little bugs, big bugs that were crawling around.
Oh my.
I never dealt with big bugs, but usually when I see bugs, I just step on it.
Europe, but Spain.
Oh, Spain.
Usually I can take on any bug except for mosquitoes. That's when I have to run away. But anyway, bug, I'll just switch it and be like, it's not that serious.
What's your major?
My major is social work.
Oh, okay. And another thing, because my major is Spanish, and I wanted to go to Spain this summer. So, how many classes did you take?
I didn't take specific classes. It was my personal opinion. What you learn here in this school in 1 semester, you learn all of that in 3 weeks being there.
Oh, wow.
you get, because their book is more intense than ours. The teacher stood there speaking Spanish. He did not speak English one bit. He wrote it down. If you could understand and you could translate it for the class, then he would prefer that. But if not, you just gotta try to go along the best way that you possibly could. It helps. It really does. Like, for me being there, I went from a beginner Spanish speaker to an intermediate Spanish speaker by the time that I left, and I was only there for a month.
Wow. And which program did you go with?
I went through, I want to say it's CSL or CSI.
CIE.
I mean, in all honesty, I know it was C something, but if you need me, like, I'll definitely look it up because I still have my stuff in my room and everything. I can definitely let you get back to you with that information. But it was a really good, like, the teachers were good. They do stuff, like the one lady was trying to get me to go bikini waxing with her. Like, it was a lot of stuff. I kind of, I told her yeah until the last minute, and I was like, I'm scared, so. It was an experience.
Okay.
Anything else?
So you said that what we learned here in an entire semester, you can learn 3 weeks from there. So if I chose to take a semester abroad or a month abroad, I can earn a lot of credits to get into the semester here, and it would count as credit, and I can graduate earlier.
It all depends on, the credit, yeah. Like, going over there, I thought it was only going to take 3 credits, take away from my Spanish 1. But it ended up taking, at my other school, it ended up taking for me doing Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. But when I got here, it only took Spanish 1. So now I have to take Spanish 2.
Wow. Yeah. I'm an art major, so if I go there to study art, I could take various art classes and it will count as credit.
It should. That's something that you have to talk to your advisor about, and that's also something. You talk to your advisor about that, and then she'll let you know because she knows more about what is equivalent, and you'll probably have to talk to the chair board of that department because they are the ones that determine whether or not it's going to be equivalent. But you gotta make sure that if you do that, make sure you just bring back the itinerary, what you did as far as being over there, like pretty much everything that you did, everything that you had, so that way they'll see that you not only went over there to have fun, but you went over there and did work, and you did what you were supposed to do.
Oh, okay. Sweet. My thoughts on Saturday.
What part did you stay in, like with the school and stuff?
We went to Seville.
You stayed in Seville?
Yes, we stayed in Seville, went to school there. We toured like all the different colleges that they had there. So it was nice. And in Seville, it looks big, but it's really small. And we walked there every day. And that's another thing that I would have to warn because of the climate change and being over there. Like, my feet had to be like this big by the end of every night because of the heat and all the excess walking.
These feet would swell.
Yes. But I mean, they took good care of me. At the end of the night, she'd be like, prop your feet up. So she'd take my feet and soak them in water and, elevate them and everything. By the morning, they would go down. And then by the end of the next night, they'd be swollen back up again. Anything else? Okay. Thank you so much for allowing me.